Peace be with you. Welcome to Healing Life with Positivity 24/7, 365, 24/7. If this is your first time coming to the platform, welcome. Come on in. Don't be shy. Please introduce yourself. We always like to welcome you with love and light. Feel free to write down anything that you feel is very important by way of what you get here. If you're returning back to the channel, then you already know that we are healing with positivity 365, 24/7 here with Neff. I love y'all so much. I send you love and light wherever you are on this beautiful planet. I pray that you are obsessively, compulsively, deliberately, on purpose, while standing in your purpose, channeling all good things to yourself, if nobody else, right? Starting within, so you don't have to go without. I just heard. I'm going to start with the declare and the decree deck. I wanted to start with that stress less, okay? But something about declaring and decreeing under this energy, post full moon is what I just heard. The ancestors are saying something about the mother's complex, okay? So some of you are being guided to write a letter to your mother. You'll know what it is that you need to say. Something about writing a letter to your mother, be a masculine or a feminine, all right? And then write a letter to your father, okay? But today is about writing that letter to the mother. I don't feel as though Source is telling us to do this at the same time. Something about focusing in on this relationship with your mother. Imagining being in the womb, I just heard. Okay, remembering how simple life was when you were being molded and shaped in triple darkness. From the moment that sperm hit the ovum, there were gifts that were put inside of you, and you knew exactly what you came to do. Declaring and decreeing, these cards are so big, y'all. They're so freaking big. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. Declaring and decreeing. It says, all external blockages created by myself and others are now cleared from my energy, in spirit, and in flesh. So the premise of this letter needs to represent all of these external blockages, okay? Generational curses that were passed down to you knowingly and unknowingly by your mother. I'm getting your mother's side of the family, okay? Spirit is saying also write a letter to the mothers in your bloodline. So your mother, your mother's mother, her mother's mother, going back to the beginning of time, I just heard. Writing letters to them. Okay. Show me what I need to see. Saying what it is that you need to say. You will know what you need to say. Okay. You can't mess this up. It says, all works of iniquity done against me, myself, and my loved ones is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Okay. So listen, something about having a conversation with your mother. Something about explaining that you are the best version of her. Okay, as you want your children, your daughters, to be the best version of you. Even if you're a masculine, you're writing this letter to your mother. I'm getting a lot of mother, daughter, feminine energy though. Okay, so if you had a mother that was putting some type of, impossible expectations, I just heard. Something that maybe they weren't ever able to become. You need to have a real conversation with this person by way of this letter. What you do with the letter after this is something that you will instinctually know. I feel like the ancestors are really going to give you downloads as you're writing this letter. Again, it's not about being grammatically correct. It's not about this being a perfect letter. It's about channeling that energy from your soul, okay? We're going into that solar plex, okay? If you're somebody that never knew your mother, you need to write that letter. Okay, because there could be some abandonment issues or codependency issues, Usually when there's people that have never known their mother, right? They usually tend to latch on to certain relationships so much so that they smother them, right? Because they're afraid to be abandoned when unhealed, right? So this says all wicked rituals of sacrifice done against me, my ancestors, is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. So these letters need to have something about blockages, curses, rituals done. If there was black magic on your mother's side, if your mother did black magic over you or her mother or whatever Whatever this is, you need to have a real conversation. You need to break any contracts knowingly and or unknowingly with your name on it, with your blood in it by way of your DNA, and let them know I'm not co-signing to whatever this is that my mother's mothers did, or my mother, whatever this is what I'm getting. Okay. Yeah. Show me what I need to see. All fear of living and dying is destroyed from my energy in spirit and in flesh. All fear of living and dying is destroyed from my energy and spirit and flesh. Yeah, I'm getting mother energy where somebody could have expected more from you than they were ever able to accomplish, right? Very judgmental. But it's almost like a fear. I'm getting fear and love, love and fear. Somebody wanting you to be better than them, but afraid that you will be. Okay, so it's all over the place. All right, so that could be like underlying competition. Write this letter to the mama. Write this letter to your mama, or whoever was your mama at the time, be it a grandmother, an auntie, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're letting them know, right? It ain't got to be like, hey, dear mama, you know what, check this out. No, maybe it's a letter of endearment. Okay, you will know what that energy needs to be. Okay, and if you're writing a letter where you're purging something out that you feel was unfair, you need to write that letter until it becomes a letter of endearment. Because remember, in actuality, as you write this letter to your mother, you're writing this to a version of yourself. She is a version of you, be that good, bad, or indifferent. It says all blockages, memories of who I am are now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. So if you had the type of mother that did not know who they were, or maybe they constantly just, needed love or wanted to be in love, maybe they didn't have a father, or their father wasn't caring and all the relationships were toxic. This is about unlearning those toxic behaviors, right? Because it's something about telling a child to do something, and there's something about being an example of what it is that you want them to be, right? Back in the day, they would say, do as I say, not as I do. Well, that don't make no damn sense. We know that now. It says, dear mama, all self-doubt and disbelief in my potential are now cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. Okay, so if there was any doubt, any fear that you could have picked up and learned, you need to unlearn that. Okay, Spirit is saying to write this letter to your mother as if she is a child. Ooh, that's interesting. That's going to call for you to be very vulnerable. Okay, very, very vulnerable. Write it, purge it out. Keep it as long as you need to. And once you're ready to let that letter go, if you want to burn it, if you want to, put it in a bottle, throw it in the ocean, the water, whatever it is that you want to do, bury it however you feel. Spirit is saying it's time to remove whatever this cord is. I'm getting umbilical cord. Ooh, putting your hand on your womb, remembering that you were once connected to this woman by way of spirit and flesh. There's a mark there called the belly button, letting you know, reminding that you were absolutely connected. So you got to remember that this is the mother that you chose. All fear of letting go of the past to pursue my destiny are cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. Okay. So these letters have something to do with blockages. Okay. Dominating mothers, or maybe not setting boundaries enough, is still a form of what feels like, child abuse, right? Sometimes there's mothers that didn't set boundaries. They just kind of let you do whatever you wanted to do. Ooh, these cards are so big. It says, dear mama, listen, all generational curses over myself, my ancestors, my offspring, the parents of my children and their ancestors are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Getting your children to write letters as well is also something good. This is not for you to reprimand. This is not for you to read at all. I'm going to say that again. If you have children and they do this exercise, their letters about you are not for you. It's for them. The sooner they write those letters, it's better now than later, because you don't want them getting to 30 and 40 years old wanting to say things that they feel they could have never said. These letters are not for you. They're for them. Wow. If they decide to share it with you, then so shall it be. Okay. How you respond absolutely does determine how you feel you've done as a mom. Okay. Everything is constructive criticism. I'm sure my children will have something to say about me. But it's okay, because guess what? They've watched me grow. They've watched me change. I'm not the same as I was when I had my first child. That's for sure. Dear Mama, hey, all blockages of my financial and material resources are now cleared up in spirit and in flesh. This is giving me a mother that could have tried to hex you. That's not for everybody. I just feel like even if a mother doesn't realize they're trying to hold a child back, somebody absolutely tried to hold a child back energetically, okay? Even if they don't say it, maybe their actions, okay? All right. Or if you had a mother that was inspiring, a mother that was a good mother, then yeah, let's cater to that good energy. Maybe it's going to be a letter of endearment. Either way, again, it's going to end up being something that benefits you by way of writing this letter. It says you are more powerful than your enemy wanted you to know. Write this down. I declare and decree. Okay. Write down, it says whatever you see on these cards or whatever I've said and or said to you. You can write these affirmations down and saying, this is something good to do tonight, Friday night. Okay. Once written, burn it in a safe space. You are chosen to be a spiritual warrior. We win. Whoo, winning over generational curses, okay, over things that people told you needed to be for whatever reason. Listen, my alarm is going off on my phone simultaneously. It says fear of transparency, vulnerability, and authenticity around others is now destroyed in spirit and in flesh, right? So something about being your authentic self, something about being in authentic relationships. 11:55 on the clock, confirmation, something about being true to self. Okay, now that you're not obligated to be under anybody else's, roof, or fortunately, if you live on your own, or maybe you still live with your parents, whatever it is, okay, you are a force to be reckoned with, and you have the right to control your physical body, mind, and spirit. What anybody says at this point is something that you can take or leave. Period. Be that advice, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay. So being transparent, being vulnerable, I just heard, being authentic around others is now destroyed, or the inability, okay, or that fear basically of people not seeing who you are. We're going to destroy that. Okay. That's like saying, let's just keep it real with each other. Why don't we? Okay. Dear Mom, past life traumas and pain inflicted upon myself or that have been inflicted upon others is now destroyed in spirit and flesh. This is a generational curse I feel somebody needs to break. Okay? I do. By way of the mother's lineage. Okay? Could be a spirit of divorce, a spirit of not having true love or self-love, or insecurity, or always needing a man, not wanting one but needing one. Codependency energies, writing a letter about that. And also breaking up with these curses. So in addition to writing this letter to mama, mother, whatever you want to call it, whoever you conceive that person to be, okay, be that in your mind's eye. Again, if you didn't have your mother, right? Some of us had our mothers and still felt very much alone. Okay. But listen, be that in your mind's eye, whatever this is, write a letter in addition to that and break up with these curses over the lineage. Again, you got to really go within. It could be, again, a curse of not feeling beautiful, a curse of not feeling sexy, a curse of not feeling small enough, big enough, wealthy enough. I'm getting beauty, whatever that is, whatever that curse is that you need to unlearn. Because one thing I know about feminine energy and or masculine energy, the mother is the first teacher, right? This is the person that you came from. And if you don't get that nurturing, 9 times out of 10, you go out into the world and you try to get it from your friends or godmothers, or if your friend has a mother, you are attached to their mother because you're looking for nurturing. Spirit is saying, but just know that everything has happened the way that it's supposed to happen, right? And this is really why I feel a lot of women now are ending up with other women. I really do. Like, I don't feel like it's about sexuality. I feel like it's more about nurturing. I'm seeing a lot more women be with other women. I'm not prejudiced by way of anybody's preference. I personally am not into women in that way, but I am a lover of energy, a lover of women. I love women. I love our beauty. I love confident women. I love women that are authentic. I love women that are independent spiritually, right? You know, they know how to stand their own. They know how to stand their ground. But I truly believe that a lot of these relationships is because of lack of nurturing from mothers. I've never seen so many women be with other women. But again, you got men that are with other men too, right? So naturally, you know, the world says, hey, it's supposed to be a man and a woman. But you got a lot of women with other women, and they're getting something that, again, I feel you know, there was some lack of nurturing. And so they're doing what makes them feel comfortable. You know, people say love is love, right? But love is really an idea. It has nothing to do with sexuality. I'll do another video on that. But I really feel like that's what it is, like wanting that nurturing, you know, wanting that familiarity. Um, Yeah, I really do. So nevertheless, it says all blockages, internal and external, that prevents me from experiencing a healthy love life are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Yeah. These are absolutely some type of generational curses. If you saw your mother in a dysfunctional relationship, or they weren't able to keep a relationship or something needs to be destroyed here. I just heard the buck stops with you. So having that conversation with your mother. The reason why we write these letters is because nobody can interrupt you. Nobody can tell you how you feel. Once it's written, you said what you said, it's out of your mind, and now you decide. You have power over whatever that energy is that you wrote into that letter, channeled into that letter. Okay? You have power over that now. So now what are you going to do with it? Okay? Are you going to burn it? Now, according to Shavi Zane, her intentions for these cards is that these affirmations be written down and then burned. Okay? But again, you have your own instincts. This is your life. You're the one that has to live it and walk it and do whatever it is you need to do, right? So you make that determination for yourself. But nevertheless, that is what she recommends. How's that? It says all blockages to my Akashic records and the activation of my DNA are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. So any blockages that were hidden, I'm getting root chakra energy, sacral energy, you know, sexual energy, you know, remembering the first moments of pleasure and pain are very important when writing these letters to the mother, to our mothers. Yeah, write that letter. Dear mama, you know, it's always good to stop and always end with a positive note. Okay. So after you know, say what you feel the problem was, if your letter even, you know, will include that, right? After you voice what the problem is, my recommendation, we all have free will. You're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. But my recommendation is to end that letter on a positive note, because what you're saying is, even if it says, hey, you know, this is what I'm unlearning. This is what I saw you do. This is what you taught me without saying, you know, because again, it's the actions. It's doing as you do, not as you say, right? You could have a mother that says, hey, don't do drugs, but then they're out doing drugs. And that's just, you know, a random example, right? So, but ending that on a positive, first moments of pain and pleasure with your mother, writing that letter, making it plain. You know, this letter could take a couple of days. Don't put no pressure on yourself. You can't mess this up. Do what you want to do. Don't overthink it. This is the message, though. I love y'all. I hope this message finds you in peace, love, and light. I really, really do. I'm excited about these letters that we're writing. Shout out to the angels and the divine ancestors and the divine feminine mothers, I just heard, for guiding us to these messages. I feel as though they want these curses to be broken. Okay? So whatever that is, only you know what it is. Only you will know what it is that you need to say. And take your time. If you want to cleanse before you write this letter, if you want to stop and cry or holler or whatever it is, again, you cannot mess this up. Once you do this, I promise you, you're going to feel a whole bunch of weight energetically be lifted up off of you. I'm feeling a lift of weight just thinking about writing the letter. Just knowing that the letter has already been written, just knowing that the letter's inside of me, inside of you, that needs to come out. And once it's channeled onto that paper, it's a wrap. Some of us have already written these letters in our spirit, in our minds. Okay, well, listen, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, I support the energy. I love you, though. I really do. If you want to donate to the channel, go ahead and do it. It's not required. I appreciate it, though. If you want to send me love and light on my journey, I send it right back to you. I love you so very much. I will see you in the next video, okay? Peace be with you.